Hello, welcome to Midlife Identity. I'm Monica, an author, your lifestyle coach, a well-being counselor, a corporate trainer. Midlife is that part of a life's journey where we reflect to rebuild, rediscover, reinvent, and also face self-made roadblocks to an abundant, authentic, peaceful life. It is termed as midlife crisis. I find this term very inappropriated. Hence, I have coined it as midlife identity as I help you embark on a journey from I to me. I shall help you gain a deeper understanding of all your triggers and stressors, empower you to surpass midlife challenges, and in the process, you learn to live a life of freedom, abundance, happiness, and peace. An important note here: if you're not in your midlife, please do tune in so that it could help you gain insight to understand your parents and near dear ones better. I would like to invite you to follow my podcast and receive notifications to tune in to the episodes where we together will dive deeper and change the myth of midlife crisis to midlife identity and recreate your identity to leave a legacy. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Midlife Identity. It's a pleasure to have you all here. And yes, it's the end of the year. And yes, we are recording the last podcast of the year 2022. So how is the new year calling you? How are you all planning to usher in the new year? Tell me, and you can post it in the comments. So what are your goals for new year? What are you planning for new year's? And how do you want to look at your midlife from here on in 2023. Today's podcast, I have planned to do it a little differently. It is, like I've always spoken about various topics about emotions, about, how we look at ourselves, at our body, at various aspects of midlife. Of productivity was the previous podcast which I spoke about. Today, I am recording it differently. I am having a guest on my podcast today. And guess who's the guest here today? That's my sister, Neelam. And she's a vivacious and a fantastic young woman of 60. Today we shall talk to her. What does midlife mean to her? What does she understand by midlife? And we'll have a lovely chatty conversation, a chatty evening over coffee and some strawberries and some figs, and of course not to miss the chocolate waffles. So all that is laid out on our table, and we shall get started speaking to her. Neelam, hi, welcome to our podcast.
Hi Muni, it's always a pleasure to hear your podcasts, and I'm feeling very privileged to be a part of it. And okay, let's start.
Well, yes. So, of course, I said Neelam for you all. I call her Didi. Even saying, hi Neelam, welcome sounded very odd to me because I've always been addressing her as Didi. So, the ones who would want to know what Didi is in India, the older sibling, your older sister, is how we address as Didi. So I think throughout the podcast, you may just hear me calling her Didi because that's the only way I know to address her. So, she is a vivacious, as I just said, young woman at 60. Let's talk to her about what does midlife mean to her. What does she understand when she hears the term midlife? So yes, Didi, tell me, what do you understand when I speak about midlife, or you hear about everybody around you saying that they are in their midlife? So what comes to your mind when you think about midlife?
For me, midlife came as it is. I was a free spirit, and there was more freedom for me midlife rather than anything curtailing me. So yes, like children are married already. I have a gorgeous grandson, and I always keep on saying being a grandmother was the best portfolio of my life. And yes, now for me, traveling, eating, meeting people, this has always been a part of my personality. And I've got a chance to do all these things post midlife. So when you're younger, you're busy with rearing children, and in India, getting children married is also a big priority in our life, and like in India we would call it farz. Farz is duty. So we consider that until they are married, and then only we are at peace. That's the way genetically Indians are. So once they married and they were all in their own homes, so it was a lot of free time just for myself and my husband. So traveling is my passion, and I have traveled a lot, right from Ladakh to the north and south of India, or abroad, a few once a year abroad also. And traveling for me is discovering new people, new places, their culture, their food. It's for me, it's a high, a different kind of a high. And of course, food, a lover of food. And me and my sister, we always, she says, you're fatter than me, and I say, I'm fatter than you. So, yes.
Yeah, I'll button here. So, yes. So, why do you feel like about your travel and what all of this that you said about food? Do you think you discovered all of this after and in midlife? Or was it always a part of you? Or was it a latent part of you? Can you just emphasize more? Because whatever you spoke about, right now about midlife and food and travel. So how does it change at midlife? Or was that always what were you doing? You can just elaborate for us, Sabal.
Okay, so as I said, we have this obesity gene in our family, and we all our life, Moni and me, Monica and me, have been fighting fat, exercising and dieting. I must have gone to 1,000 gyms, and she must have gone to 2,000 dietitians. But we are where we are, happy and fat, and happy fats. And more than Monica, I was a food lover. And so when I was younger, I was always concerned if I eat or if I go overboard eating, I'll put on weight. And somewhere after midlife, I said, forget it. I have not eaten butter for years. I had left butter for 20 years of my life. I left sweets. Now, the hell, I want to eat all the butter in the world. I want to eat all the sweets in the world. And that was what changed. And now the results are, I look like a plum pudding, and Monica looks like plum pudding too.
Wow. Well, a lot of my secrets are being let out, being a plum pudding, and oh my God. Well, as I told you, my sister, wow, she is one of a kind, and she's going to keep us entertained. So keep staying tuned to this podcast, because now we're going to come to, to more deeper topics. We will delve slowly into, various different aspects of midlife. So as just now Didi spoke about, being very aware of your body, you don't want to put on weight, and you just abstain from all kinds of foods because you're very conscious. Then in midlife, suddenly you feel, oh my God, as she just said, forget everything, let's eat. I haven't eaten butter for years, so let me just indulge. So the indulgence tends to come in midlife, maybe because of the finiteness of our lives. Or why does this indulgence come in? Can you tell us?
I don't know, maybe it's the flow of life. Maybe the age took over me, just genetically or organically. I really can't put a finger to it. But yes, one day I suddenly realized, to hell with all the dieting. मुझे खाना है, मुझे घूमना है. And yes, I'm 60. I feel maybe I have another 10 years, maybe 15 years to live. So I want to travel, I want to eat, I want to do everything which I love to do.
Okay, wow. Yes, of course, I know you are a travel, big fan of traveling and food. So now, I feel when you keep saying that, okay, to hell with everything, and maybe the finiteness hits us somewhere, and maybe we are not ready to accept it, which she just very clearly said that she cannot put a finger on it. Because again, many a times in our midlife, as you feel, I've done this all my life, now I want to be carefree, I want to be a free bird. Why do you want to be a free bird at midlife and did not want to be a free bird earlier? Why were we caught with so many things happening in our life? Why are we so caught up with, we should not be doing this or we should be doing that and all the shoulds and coulds? And suddenly at midlife, we want to break all the chains and just go ahead and have no shoulds and coulds in our life, whatever the consequences. Am I right?
Yes, I suppose when we are younger, we were put in a role model of mothers and caregivers. So we were doing all that. And as Monica and me have given our Jaan, our life to our kids, our family, our life is just centered around them, their upbringing, and we have lovely children because of that. And yes, now it's time for us. It's time for me and it's time for Monica. Their time is done. We handed them over to their wives. And now we're going to look after ourselves and our goals, our aspirations. It's time to do that. But I suppose the younger generation, they're doing all these things much before we have realized it's now time for us to do it. The younger gen is wiser, so they start much earlier. But I suppose the time is right when it's right.
Love that attitude. Love that attitude that you have, where you say, that when the time is right, the time is right. So, having this kind of an attitude definitely sees to it that, you've never had any regrets or what happened, didn't happen. If it's happening now, enjoy it now. So just live for the moment. And I think that is the attitude that you stand by.
See, regrets, we all have had ups and downs in our life. How you deal with it is up to you, and that's the way you live your life. For me, also, yes, I've had ups and downs, but for me, I've just blocked them. It doesn't exist. And if it comes back also to my mind, कि ये मेरे साथ ठीक नहीं हुआ, oh, forget it. It just blocks immediately. I'm on to the next happy thing. So, yeah, that's the way I deal with it. It's all up to person how you deal with it. You can live with that dukh all your life, or you can just throw it out of the window and move on.
Wow. Throw it out of the window and move on. Yes, guys, just pin that and just, hold on to that thought, pin and just throw it out of the window. But yes, as she said, we've all been through ups and downs. We all deal with the problems, the challenges that come to us. We all deal with it very differently. There was one thing I would like to speak about with you, Didi, is that when you said, I block them. So when you say I block them, so how do you deal with that? Do you block it or you just brush it under the carpet, or you believe that it didn't ever exist? So is there a lack of awareness, lack of acceptance, or what is it? What do you mean by saying I block them?
Blocking for me means, suppose I remember that incident. It'll be a flash. I said, no, this was a bad flash. Just get it out. Absolutely over. I connect to things like nature, music, and I immediately divert my mind to that, and that flash is gone and the story is over. Yes, it happened. And it may come again. There are so many other ways to deal with it. One of my favorite portfolio, as I said, talking to my grandson. Oh, he brings out the child in me and the innocence, and you forget, you feel that few bad things in your life can't mar the beauty around you. God has given me nature, He's given me a lovely family, and He's given me a lovely Monica. So, think of the good things. ये बुरा तो होना ही था और होगा भी आगे. So, yeah, we have to learn to deal with it. वो पकड़ के बैठना नहीं है. As I said, throw it out of the window. Take a झाड़ू and झाड़ू लगा के निकाल दो घर से बाहर उसको. मन से भी घर से भी.
So, well, she's an expert at sweeping off the cobwebs. I really love this, This is something about my dear sister, which I just admire, that dealing with situations has been, she takes a very positive action towards it. See, we read books, we hear so many podcasts, we hear so many things, and we want to put it into practice. But how many of us can we actually are able to put all of this into practice? With her, I have always seen that she can actually puts it into practice. As she said, just throw it out the window. It happened. The flashes will come, but she searches for the next happy thing to do to move away from it. So again, this is how we train ourselves. We learn from various, we hear so many gurus speaking, and they all tell us this very same thing. Keep finding for that happy space. Now, there is one question that arises when, a curiosity, you could say, a question arises in my mind that, when a flash has come, you just move it away, you keep brushing off the cobwebs, you keep cleaning and you don't bother about it, and, you look at the next happy thing. Is there a difference between learning to accept it, or we are just brushing it away, or we don't want to look at it? So when do you brush it away? Do you accept it, understand it, and then brush it away? Or you just brush it away with the flash coming in?
See, for me, all these blame games do keep on happening with me. ऐसा क्यों हुआ? ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था. I should have dealt with it differently. But yes, again, I just brush it off. And for me, humor is a big part of my life. I deal with it humorously and make a big joke out of it. And in fact, sometimes I wonder why my children also don't seem to understand my joke. I think only I'm laughing at my jokes. But yeah, that's the way I deal with it. Humor, laugh it off, go to the next best thing. Very emotionally hurt, go for a walk in nature. Wow, it's a healer, believe me. The trees, the world around you, or even going to just doing a window shopping. Oh wow, that's Monica and my favorite hobby. we may not end up buying anything, but as we've got this particular line from our aunts who are no more, and they both were inspiration for us, then Indu and Shaku. And I used to tell them, Indu, you're not going to even buy anything. Why are you even going shopping? Neelu is me, Neelam, Neelu. Shopping जाने से knowledge बढ़ता है. So that's what Monica and me want to do that. Monica, let's go knowledge बढ़ाने के लिए. So that knowledge बढ़ाना would be just window shopping. Your mind gets rejuvenated. We may end up having a nice dinner or lunch. Come back not bought anything. And that lovely time spent together. And yes, knowledge बढ़ गया.
Wow. That was very interesting. I totally agree with her. So knowledge, yes, in all aspects of your life. So from shopping, clothes, window shopping, studying, everything is knowledge. So knowledge is which area of knowledge you want to, stress on. And yeah, she remembered today our dear aunts. Yes. Yes, those were memories, definitely. So speaking to Neelam, did you hear some certain things what she had to say? Go for a walk in the nature. It's healing. Do things, which just excite you or just divert your mind. This is all that she practices. Some things that we learn, we hear, but how many of us, as I mentioned earlier too, are able to practice it? She actually practices all of this, and that's why at 60, she is as lively, as vivacious, as sexy, I can say she is. Of course, her humor is to die for. And as she just said, her children also would sometimes not understand what the humor is all about. And that's life. It's all about living life every single day. So it is about creating your life. You wake up in the morning, and you create your day, because the mundane is there, the routine tasks are there, everything is there. But how do you create a day? So let's see, how does Neelam wake up in the morning and create a day?
Okay, I've heard this line from many people. I am not a morning person, which I just don't understand. For me, mornings are divine. Morning is called Amrit Vela. Amrit Vela is divine moment, and so beautifully described in these two words, Amrit Vela. And that's exactly what is morning for me. Anytime after 4, I wake up, start my day with the banana and a coffee. Yes, I'm getting older. I need the coffee kick. Because when I was younger, I used to just head out for my walk, then do some pranayam, do some yoga. I'm doing yoga since the last 40 years, and it's a passion for me. And yes, after that, my household chores, and then Netflix, Amazon, read some books, chat with Monica, get some inspiration from her. And see, everybody's an inspiration around us. As I said, my aunts Indu and Shaku, till they were 70 and 70 plus, they had the spirit in them. And the spirit of going out shopping, knowledge badana, going to lovely places to eat. And if we had to shop, they knew this, like suppose we went to Dadar for some shopping, and they knew Madras Cafe has the best idli dosa, so that has to go hand in hand. There's no way that we come back without khana pina. And till their last breath, they were an inspiration for us. So maybe that happy image and positive positivity and happiness around us, maybe it's in our DNA also. And yes, see, people around you are all inspirations, the negative ones and the positive ones. The positive ones, you want to be like them. The negatives one, when you see, you actually don't want to be like that. So yeah, I suppose the whole world is an inspiration for me.
Wow, wow. And you inspire us, definitely. Yes, all my dear listeners, aren't you all inspired by what Neelam has to say? And the beautiful part is, see, that's exactly, the reason I wanted to share this podcast and, have a chat with her was because I've seen her always practicing all that we preach. How many of us can we walk that path? We hear people saying, you must do this, you must wake up in the morning, you must exercise, you must do this, you must eat right, you must. How many of us actually do it? Well, she actually follows it. Waking up in the morning, doing your yoga, going for your walk, connecting with nature, connecting with your spirit, and then even doing your daily worldly duties. And, reading books. So it's an amalgamation of living life. So when I asked her, how do you create your day? So this is exactly, I think the moment you wake up and you connect with yourself, connect with your heart, you connect with your soul, I think you automatically are creating a beautiful day. Because once you've connected, it's like, charge the phones we keep to charge, right? Once the battery is charged, the phone, how batteries charge, it works beautifully the entire day. Once you've charged yourself, you're set to go. So it's the same way. You charge yourself and you're set to go for the day. And then you can create your day. You can make your day beautiful. So beautifully, as she said, the positive and the negative are inspirations. You have to make your choices. So you pick up the positives, you understand from it. You pick up the negatives, you understand from it. And you make your choices in life. And you create and build your life on those lines. So it's midlife. When we talk about midlife, it is not only about your duties are done. Now you have a duty towards yourself. So Neelam, can you tell us, what do you feel is a duty to yourself?
For me, is my duty to myself is to keep myself positive and happy. If I'm positive and happy, I keep the family happy. And the people around me happy. As it is, I'm the leader of the gang, making all the programs. And it's such a disappointment. The day I can't go, nobody goes. I don't want that. I said, if I'm not going, you all are going. No, it's like I have to lead and everybody follows in a happy way, I meant to say. So yes, my goal in life is to keep everybody happy, be happy myself, and keep everybody happy around me. Get people together, make it a nice and happy world.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm totally inspired. Aren't you all, guys? Aren't you all inspired too? So the duty towards herself, that's such a beautiful, way to put it. So yeah, I didn't mention this, that Didi has always been a homemaker. and she's always like, a perfect in every aspect and every area of making a home. So when we say, homemakers are home, and they don't they are always into their home, looking after their house or the kids or cooking, she aces it all of more than now 45 years, I think. How many years? 44 years she has been. So you can imagine what an expert she is. So inspired of being a homemaker and looking after her home, rearing her children, looking after the needs of the family, the duty what she spoke about was just keeping herself happy. She's happy, her family is happy. Family who steps out and interact with various people, automatically the way they conduct themselves is a happy in a very happy and a very proper way. And creating programs, being the leader of the pack, and trying to spread happiness. What a beautiful thing to say, don't you all agree? So the goal in life is just to be happy and make the world happy around. So don't you think so many of us who are in our midlives, we can have the same similar goals of building happiness, creating happiness, spreading happiness? With all of this happiness around us, we could really have a beautiful world. We can just put in a little effort, a little part of us to create this happiness. Now, next question on midlife identity. I would like to ask Neelam. Now, as she is 60, she just celebrated her 60th birthday. And when she said how she creates, she spoke to us about how she creates her day. She spoke to us about her goal in life and her duty towards herself. I would like to ask her, what does she see? Where does she see herself in the next maybe 5-10 years? Or what does she have in mind to do for the next 5-10 years?
I don't know, maybe is it my age or what? I'm taking things as they come. I'm not even thinking ahead. The only thing I can think ahead is of my next holiday. So organically, maybe I feel you heard that Shah Rukh Khan ka dialogue he put in the nature. क्या है वो डायलॉग? आई एम सॉरी.
जब आप कुछ चाहते हो तो कायनात भी साथ में इकट्ठी हो जाती है आपकी वो चाहत पूरी करने के लिए. आई डोंट नो द डायलॉग एग्जैक्टली, बट इट इज़ व्हेन यू हैव द इंटेंशन, द यूनिवर्स कंस्पायर्स एंड फुलफिल्स ऑल योर इंटेंशंस.
Yes, exactly. She got it right. So yes, as I said, I'll put my intent, and God, universe, and people around me will manifest it for me. So I'm taking it as it comes. No goals in future, just to keep myself healthy, happy, and regularly exercise, yoga, all my things which I want to keep on doing. And that's my goal.
Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? I am really impressed when you said this, that, going by the flow, taking each day as it comes. It's such a beautiful way to take on life. That's the exact way of living life. Life is all about, experiential living. We have been a part of existential living. Now, what is existential living? Is all about the challenges that come our way. And we allow those challenges to, hold on to us, get attached to us, and we shape our personalities as per the challenges. But if we just make a little shift and we try to live the experiential way, as just now what she said, go by the flow, take each day as it comes. Just, the twists and the turns are always going to be there. So when you have a turn, you take the turn, go by the flow, and understand it, face it, and not react to it, respond to it with a lot of thought, a lot of attention, and just take it easy. Don't get attached to each situation. So that's a beautiful way of living. And when I did ask her about the next 10 years, I like the way she said, I don't even think about it. Isn't that lovely? So most of us, we tend to overthink. We tend to think, oh my God, what will happen to us in the next 10 years, 5 years? Kya hoga? Where am I going to be? What will happen of me? And you have so many maybe aspirations, or you have no aspirations, or you're scared of your health, you're scared of your own self. We build fears, and unwanted fears, which are not even required, but we build those fears, and those fears go and settle unconsciously in our mind, and they go and settle in the subconscious mind, and we start living the fears, and then we start manifesting those fears. That is why I have seen so many people around me that, they're quite good, everything is fine, but they have so many fears that they start manifesting it because of the fears. Like a simple thing, I'll fall sick. They're so fearful of falling sick that they actually fall sick. They attract sickness. And then they say, oh my God, now I'm 60, 65, and then I am sick. I have fallen sick. And then they say, see, I knew it. I knew it. I would fall sick. I knew I will not be well. I knew this would happen to me. Definitely you would know it because you've called for it in your own way. And then they obsess with it. And then they fall prey to those circumstances. And then they go into the rigmarole of being unhappy. And it's a vicious circle. You're unhappy, you're unfulfilled, you cannot create your happiness. So, you cannot create your happiness, you cannot do what you want to do. And you just go on going into that, deep recesses. And you start building subconscious minds, you start building all the negativity around you. Why should we do that? We are in our midlife. We don't know whether we are for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Live each day as it comes. Go by the flow, as what Neelam just told us how she lives. And wow, I just feel that, that we have to actually work on ourselves of not becoming, falling prey to our own fears, our thoughts, those thoughts that, okay, 60, we are 65, we can do this or we cannot do this. We should do this or we should not. So I'm 50, so I can't go and climb a mountain, or I can't go for a trek. As how fit you are, you decide for yourself, and you can do everything. So you have to do what you wish to do. Don't fall prey to the shoulds and coulds of life around you. Create your life. Build your life. Look out for happiness. Each morning when you wake up, create your day. As Neelam, who is living it, she gave us so many tips of what she does every day in her life. We should take on from these tips and start living life how she has suggested. I'm sure we can create a beautiful, happy world. And all our midlife, all our lives, we have been worrying about building a life, making money, looking after the children, walking against the timelines. But now is the time we have the opportunity to actually create a happy life. We'll ask Neelam to share the last few words before we wind off today's episode. Yes, Neelam, what would you like to give us your final words?
Okay, my final words would be, wake up at Amrit Vela, and this whole world is Vasudeva Kutumbakam, and your life is made. That's all. And nice chatting with you all.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. What beautiful final words. And I don't know what to say. The last suggestion that she gave, it's life changing. It is life changing. As today's guest Neelam, my dear sister, she is in her 60s. I just wanted her to, I see how she lives life, how she takes challenges. And it's not that, we all do face challenges. We do all have that curves in our lives. And I've seen her always living life to the fullest. And I wanted her to be on our show today and share all her experiences. And I got a lot to learn from her. A few pointers which I would like you all to write down, note down, and swear by it and make it your mantra. First, be happy. Create happiness. Build happiness. Just do that. Just wake up and build happiness. Create happiness for yourself, and automatically you will spread happiness and light all around you. And it is just brush. And the second point is here, just brush away all your worries and just brush it out and throw it out of the window. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to do that. So once you're happy, automatically it's going to be very easy for you to brush it. Imagine if you're not happy, you're upset. Can you brush off the cobwebs and throw it out of the window? You cannot. You find it so difficult. If you're happy, automatically it's going to be second nature to you. You just throw it and brush it off and throw it out of the window. Yes. And yes, the third one, what was the most beautiful, go by the flow. I wake up, I go by the flow. And whatever you want, leave it to the universe. If you have an intention, the universe conspires to fulfill that intention. Wake up at Amrit Vela and the day is yours. It's like you connect with the divine. So I believe from all the conversation that I had with her, it is completely about connecting with the divine, connecting with your soul, connecting with your heart. So when you wake up early in the morning, you connect with your soul, with your heart, you connect with yourself, you set the tone for the day. You set the intention for the day, and automatically you go by the flow, spread happiness, love, and light. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I've had a blast doing it with recording this episode with my sister. And yes, do send in your comments, do share. Do you have any questions? Please put it onto the comment box and I will try and answer all your questions. And thank you so much for tuning in to Midlife Identity. And do keep tuning in and keep on liking the episodes, and you can check on the notifications so that you would know when the new episodes are coming up again. Yes, thank you, and stay tuned on Midlife Identity. And of course, yes, a very, very happy new year to you all. Welcoming in 2023 with a bang. Bye for now. Take care. God bless you all. Thank you for signing in and tuning in to today's podcast. Stay tuned and we shall forever be diving deeper into the various prolonged battles, struggles, pressures, thoughts of finiteness, understanding what midlife is all about, and wanting to create our own midlife identity. I shall end with the beautiful saying by Victor Hugo: when grace is joined with wrinkles, it is adorable.